What if the single moment that shaped humanity never happened? Not a catastrophe, not a miracle, but a quiet absence. Imagine the first human who picked up a stone and never thought to shape it. Imagine the first person who raised a branch, never imagined sharpening it. No one tied grass into rope. No one chipped flint. The hand closed around objects, but did not transform them. In that version of history, our world unfolds differently. We do not become builders, hunters, inventors, architects of nations. We become witnesses, present in the world, yet unable to shape it. Without tools, our bodies reveal their original truth. We are soft creatures in a world of muscle, fur, claw, and fang. Our skin tears easily, our teeth are small, our limbs built for endurance rather than domination. In a world without spears, hammers, axes, or knives, we are no longer hunters. We are watchers at the edge of someone else's feast. The lion finishes its kill. The wolves retreat into the brush. Only then do we approach, quiet and cautious, to gather what remains. Our greatest advantage is not intelligence, it is patience. A long, slow willingness to survive on what others leave behind. What happens to a species when survival depends not on invention, but on waiting? Food in this world comes raw and resistant. Roots are fibrous and bitter. Meat is tough and cold. Fruits are bruised or fallen. Every meal demands effort. Chewing becomes labor. Over centuries, the human jaw thickens. The bones of the face broaden. Teeth harden and flatten from the constant grind. Pain becomes familiar. A cracked tooth is not a medical condition, it is simply adulthood. Eating is not pleasure. Eating is perseverance. Our bodies evolve to endure, not to simplify. Fire flickers in this world, but as something distant. Lightning strikes a field, and flames ripple through dry grass. A branch smokes at the base of a tree after a storm. We watch, mesmerized, drawn to its warmth and color. But without sticks to carry embers or pits to contain flame, fire remains unreachable. We feel its heat, but we cannot keep it. We see its light, but we cannot control it. Fire is not a tool, it is a phenomenon. It becomes a symbol of something eternal and untouchable, a mystery that lives outside human hands. Without fire and tools to shape the world, shelter is something found, never made. We live in caves when we discover one, or in the hollows of fallen trees. When neither offers safety, we sleep beneath the thick canopy of shrubs, curled close to others for warmth. Weather controls movement. A sudden storm scatters us. Winter thins our numbers. Home is not a location. Home is whoever survives long enough to share the night beside us. Our lives are not rooted in place, but in motion. We follow the world rather than shaping it to follow us. Communication remains simple. Gesture, tone, eye contact, shared awareness. We feel fear together, hunger together, alertness together. But without objects to build, there is no need for instructions. Without structures to maintain, there is no need for planning. Without stories recorded or repeated, there is no memory large enough to extend beyond a single lifetime. Knowledge becomes something lived, not taught. The child learns by watching and repeating. The same discoveries appear in every generation and disappear with each death. Nothing accumulates. Life becomes a cycle. But here's the twist. Without complexity to solve, the human brain no longer needs to grow. The brain, which consumes so much of our energy, begins to shrink its demands. Thinking beyond the present provides no advantage. Survival rewards instinct more than imagination. And so, evolution shifts us. Shoulders broaden for climbing and pulling. Arms strengthen. Hands develop calluses from constant gathering. Eyes sharpen to track movement in grass and trees. The mind quiets. Awareness becomes more physical than conceptual. We do not become lesser beings, but we become different ones. More animal than architect, more present than visionary. Yet emotion remains. The interior world does not vanish. Even without art or language, expression still finds shape. Humans hum while they walk. They clap hands against chests or tree trunks. They sway in groups, bodies responding to shared rhythm. Music becomes heartbeat memory, something felt rather than composed. If someone traces patterns in dirt or sand, the wind will erase it. But the act of making leaves a brief and meaningful impression. Creativity exists in the moment, not in objects. Beauty becomes temporary, like breathing in cold air. Conflict still occurs. Competition is part of life. But without weapons, battles look different. There are no armies, no tactics, no war stories. When disputes arise, they are physical and brief. Pushing, shoving, grabbing, biting, and then exhaustion. The strongest is not the smartest, but the one who resists pain longest. Peace is not achieved through diplomacy or morality. It simply arrives when everyone becomes too tired to continue. Love is not spoken or written. It is shown through the simplest of gestures. Sharing food, sharing warmth, sharing safety. To sit close through the night is loyalty. To offer someone a piece of fruit is devotion. To guard someone while they sleep is love. There is no romance in words or gifts because there are no objects to offer or phrases to construct. Love becomes something steady and physical, quiet but profound. Belief arises naturally. The world feels immense. The sky stretches without explanation. Fire feels supernatural. The roar of storms and the movement of stars feel like messages from something greater. Without temples or idols, faith becomes something lived rather than displayed. Worship is not organized, it is experienced in stillness. Humans lift their heads to the night sky and feel the smallness of their existence. The sacred is not defined, it is felt. The earth in this world thrives untouched. Forests grow dense and uninterrupted. Rivers flow without contamination or redirection. Animal populations rise and fall, according to their own rhythms. There are no cities, no farmland, no cleared landscapes. The world remains loud with birds, heavy with foliage, thick with wildness. Humans are a quiet presence within nature, not a force reshaping it. Our population remains small. Predators, illness, hunger, and exposure prevent large growth. We become a scattered species, small groups moving across continents, leaving almost no trace. The planet holds no memory of us. If we disappear, the world continues unchanged. And yet, even here, something human endures. Well, how would that be happening? Even in this world of raw survival, we still look at fire with longing. We still trace patterns on the ground, knowing they will not last. We still look at the stars and sense meaning. Imagination survives, even when invention does not. Hands stay empty, but the mind still reaches. This is the part of us that tools did not create. This is the part of us that simply is. The longing for more. The quiet awareness that life could be different. The spark of possibility. Even if tools had never existed, humans would still dream. And that dream, unfulfilled, unspoken, unshaped, would be the final proof of what makes us human.